Hi, I'm Aditya. In this tutorial we're going to learn how to create the scene in Blender. There's two things that I mainly focus in this tutorial. The first thing is how to use cycle subsurface carrying, and the second thing is how to create this candle flame using fire simulator in Blender. And finally we're going to learn how to compositing this image in Blender to achieve this final look. So bear with me until the end and let's get started. Okay, before we start, make sure you download the starter file that I've included. There's also a bonus tutorial for creating the scene. It's about modeling and using several add-ons to create the candle and then the jar for here. Okay, now let's give shaders to this object over here. So the first thing that I want to do is to move the light above this candle. So just select this and maybe just enter the edit mode and select on top of it and save as cursor to selected, and back to object mode and then move the lamp, save as selection to cursor, so it will be directly go to the top of it. So I'm going to top. I'm going to change from point to area lamp, make it square, and then maybe increase it to 0.5 so it's a little bit bigger. So we go to right, yep, right up there. Maybe put, yep, that's fine. So next what we're going to do is I'm going to increase this, maybe use multiple and change it to a bit yellowish. So when I just put a render border over here, this is name render border, you can just Control B and then draw into your viewport and press Z to change to rendered. Okay, I'm going to change the background into black surface and select black. Okay, I'm going to split the window and I'm going to change it to node editor and select the object. I'm going to use the material node editor. So I'm going to give a new and name it candle. Down here I'm going to name it maybe jar or something, and top of it just name it candle lit, where it's gonna be the place of the fire. Okay, I'm going to name it also floor. Okay, now we got a material, name it properly. So go directly to the main object of the scene. It's the candle. Just going to right view, and then now I'm going to select, I'm going to change to render. You'll notice that it's just flat, like something like that. So I'm going to change from the views. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to change it to subsurface carrying, and I will add one more up here, is glossy. Okay, just add more shaders. I'm going to combine both of the shader using mix shaders. Okay, just add and make sure you put the output shaders there. Okay, now you'll notice that our image now has a subsurface carrying effect of here on the shaders. Okay, just make sure that you are using the CPU, not GPU, because right now subsurface carrying only support for CPU only. So if I change it to GPU, it's nothing show on just glossy mixed with something white up there. So just turn into CPU up there. Okay, so now I'm going to change a little bit the viewport, I mean the render view. Okay, I'm going to give the explanation of the subsurface carrying, the main topic of this tutorial. Okay, the color will give the subsurface the color of the surface. If I change it to a little bit, it will be giving you something like milky things. I'm going to change it a little bit up there. Okay, so the color will affect all of this surface. But now we're coming to scale. Okay, if you are get confused with the little preview over here, we can go to the material tab, surface, and then shaders. You will notice that there is a scale over here. It's also the same here. What the scale does, it's what do you say, it's like it makes the scaling to the surface of the object. Right now 1 is giving you this much amount of the light penetrate to the volume of the object. So if I reduce this to 0.1, it will limit the penetrates of the light until this value 0.1 of the surface of the image. Okay, if I increase it to 0.5, you'll notice that it will be giving more penetrating light inside the volume of the object of the surface. So I'm trying to leaving this as 1, so it will give this much. Okay, so next is what is radius. Okay, you can see that's radius. This radius is actually the red, green, and blue radius for this the light that penetrate to the inside of the surface. So I'll give you the exact measurement of this. This value is contained red. I just change it to 5, and you'll notice that it turned into red. Okay, you'll notice that it will turn. Okay, I will increase the what do you call the sampling to maybe 100 to give you more. Okay, now it's turned into red. Okay, so let's give it value of 1 again, and let's give it 5. You'll notice that it's turned into green. Okay, it's turned into green. And last thing, I'm going to give it value 5. It will turn into blue. So it's red, green, and blue radius. That determines which colors that you want to show when the light is penetrating. It's cool. Okay, because it's the material that we are working here is a candle. It's like it's a kind of wax thing. So the measurement that I find it's quite found it quite good is I raised the red radius quite high here. It's around 18. It will give you a lot of red radius, and I'm going to increase the green radius to 10. Okay, it will give you red plus green. It's combined. It's made a little bit yellow, and increase this to 3 something. So it's turned into something. Right now you want to, so I just need to reduce the scale, maybe 0.1 something, so it will be up right there. Okay, so you'll notice that because the flame is a little bit orange and yellow, so it's like it's the gradient is between the most affecting. It's turned down, getting down to the giving more yellowish and then red, and then yeah, more of a color. Maybe it's too much. I'm going to reduce to 0.8 or something, so it will be a little bit up there, not too much until down. Maybe 0.07 something. That will give you enough. Okay, that's cool. Now so that's it about the subsurface scattering. So hope you understand what is the meaning of the scale and radius for controlling the light with penetrating your the object surface. Okay, next I'm going to increase the roughness to maybe a little bit 3 or something, and yep, I think that's cool. next is we're going to change this into black, so because it's going to be burned anyway, you won't see that. Okay, now make it a little bit, we make it more colorful. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to add glossy plus yeah, should diffuse. Why delete that? Okay, now we're going to mix that both just like before. We're going to put that in the surface, and then again. Okay, now I'm going to make the glossy, okay, the color of this a little bit and dark. So when I put in render, okay, and then the glossy color into a little bit orange something, so it will give you like a gold color. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select floor, and then delete the diffuse color and change to glossy. Okay, just change the surface and increase it to maybe around, yep, you'll notice that the color is, the more you increase the roughness, it give you more pointing is enough, I think. Yeah, right now it's we almost, so I'm just if you want to remove the border view, just Control Alt B, it will be remove everything. So I'm going to select the camera view over here and view it how it looks. Okay, as you notice that the jar is not like very well, so we're going to fix this by selecting the lamp, and we're going to change the size to around 0.8. So right now it's, the jar now will be visible. Okay, I'm going to put in solid. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to add a flame, candle flame up here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to name it this to candle scene, and I will add a new scene here. I call it flame. Okay, why we need a new scene? Because fire simulator will only use Blender render, not cycles for rendering, so we need it to be add a different scene right now. Okay, I'm going to switch this from node editor to timeline and changing from 250 to only 50. Okay, next I'm going to link some file. Okay, I'm going to link this candle, and then the candle and lit only. Press Ctrl L to make link object scene. I'm going to link from this candle to flame. Okay, and one more thing is the camera. So like it's Ctrl L and flame. Now we go back to flame. Right now we have the same object as the candle scene has. So go back to camera view, and I'm going to make sure that it's on the center. I'm going to add a cube. Okay, I'm going to raise it up, and going to scale it based on the 3D cursor. Sorry, scale 3. It will be scaling on the 3 Blender unit. Going to wireframe mode. Okay, let's name it. Don't forget to change this outliner to current scene, so it will be automatically detect what is on the current scene. It's very useful. Okay, cube, I'm going to name it to domain, as it will be the place, domain will be the place that the fire simulator will show up. It will be also contain some voxel data to count for fire. Okay, so now select the domain, and then go to the physics tab, enable smoke, and go to the domain. Okay, Yep, in the resolution I'm going to raise up to 1.8, and nothing to change in density or temperature different, and just vorticity. Okay, this need to be very low resolution, something like so. Okay, 0.001, very subtle. And then change the scale. Okay, I'm going to scale to change to 0.8. And this is the scale, this is the timing scale. It will be quite not so fast, so it will be just quite slow for the show up time. And enable dissolve, and I'll be increasing this to a little bit higher. High value is 36. It will be give you smoother result of the flame later on. Okay, go to smoke flames, and I'm going to reduce the size of the speed to 0.4. It will make, otherwise it will be very high. If you increase, I mean if you lower the size, it will be quite high. Our setup here, it will be make it will very less fire to show, so I'm going to reduce to raise up the flames. Okay, don't forget to enable adaptive domain. That will be fair, it will fasten your simulation. And in smoke high resolution, don't forget to enable it. Change wavelet to FFT, this noise method. I'm going to reduce it to 0 since we are making the candle flame, so we need this to be 0. And later on I will be increase this to around 5 or 6, but for now 1 is fine. Okay, in smoke group there's nothing. Smoke cage, I will be changing the frame here to 50 and enter the file name here to flame cage. Yep, that's it, file name. Okay, so it's whatever it's just me, you can name it whatever you want. Okay, now we are done with the domain. So next we're going to create a fire source. I'm going to select this and enter the edit mode. Make sure you change to median. So select the top, save as, selected, object mode, and I will add plan. Going to edit mode. I'm going to subdivide this a couple of times, maybe 2, 3 or 2. Okay, and I'm going to give a subsurf. I'm going to apply that subsurf directly. So right now we have a plenty things. I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Okay, around that size. To enter the front view in the orthographic. Okay, I'm going to scale it a little bit like that. Let's see from the top. Yep, that's enough. Next is I'm going to put it down there a little bit here, move it back, change the front, and move it a little bit here. Yep, perfect. Okay, now let's name it fire source. Fire source. Okay, I will disable this view since I don't want it to be viewable. I also will move this to different layers since we're going to compose the flame later on. Okay, and next I'm going to add the physics here and go to the smoke. Now we're going for fire source, we need to add as flow. Okay, change flow type from smoke to fire, and I think, yeah, reduce the size of it to 0.4, something like so. Yep, and volume will be 1. This is also 1. Okay, yeah, the surface is the surface of the mass. It will be the scaling will be 1 is enough. It will be same, or otherwise it will be quite high over here. The volume also the same as the surface for the mass. It's like if you give the box or something, it will be calculate the volume of that object. Actually, we don't really need to adjust this. It won't affect, so you can just follow. Okay, right now we can try to simulate this. We are fixed, so right now we can check. If just press Alt A to check your simulation. Okay, you'll notice that it's there, the fire is there. Yep. Okay, cool. Right now if I press render, you won't see anything at all. It's just going to give you black results. So what you need to do is going to domain and go add material. I'm going to name it fire and change from surface to volume over here, reduce density to 0. I'm raising up to 15. The density scale, I'm changing this to 1 and put the color to black. The one more important things to be remember is to reduce the step size over here. Find that this quite useful. Yeah, 0.05. It's very small step, so it will be giving you a smooth result of the rendering. Okay, now the fun part is to give color to your fire. What you need to do is just add new textures. I'm going to name it flame and change the type from clouds to what is it, voxel data up here. Okay, that's it. And make sure you select domain object, go to domain and change the source to flame. Okay, now we can clip it down. No need to custom properties. Okay, now in mapping, make sure you this map to bounds is check. It will be by default, so don't worry about it. And enable this density and emissions. Okay, now go to colors. Okay, now we're going to use RAM. Okay, this is the important things that you have to notice, that on the left part here on the 0, it will be calculating the top part of the fire, while the number 1 here, it will be the bottom part of the fire. So it will be give color to the bottom part. Right now it's white, so it will be absolutely black, white only showing if you render this. So if okay, now because the candle flame at the bottom will be like a bluish or something, so I'm going to change it to blue, something like maybe a little bit bluish, or not too much, something like that. Okay, and make sure you select number 1 and add. It will be add directly in the middle, so I'm going to drag a little bit up. I'm going to change it to something like red, orange, or something like that. Okay, cool. Go in here, I'm going to add more something like, okay, I'm going to change it to yeah, a little bit, something like that, and increase the alpha value, so it will be solid yellowish color. See, raise up. Yeah, cool. Now we're going to add more. It will be the transition between yellow to blue. Select it again. I'm going to add more. Select this. I'm going to go to the hex and copy this value. Control C and go to this number 4 and pass. So here and here has the same value, so I'm going to reduce this to 0.7, and for the last part, number 5, I'm going to reduce to 0. so there will be no showing, but we can get the transition over there. Okay, cool. Now what we need to do is just adjust this, make it a little bit. Okay, so make sure you drag this a little bit to the top here, make it very less, so it will be showing not showing anything. Okay, we after putting this together, so let's try a test render for this. Cool. Okay, now this is the result. Okay, I kind of like it, so you can give it up, increase the top part, reduce a little bit, and give. Okay, fine. Now I think that's cool. To rise it a little bit. Yeah, nice. Now what we need to do is, okay, I'm going to go back to the domain, and I'm going to increase the diffusion value to around 6. Okay, now I'm going to back to the first frame, and I'm going to back this. I'm going to pause the recording and continue again after this, because maybe baking take some time. So okay, now I'm finished baking. So right now after you bake, you will notice that the option here is gray out, everything is gray out, so you can have a calculation again. So right now you can press Alt A to run the simulation quite fast. Cool, very nice. So I'm going to pause and maybe 40, yeah, make it 40, and I'm going to press F12 to render again. So that's it. It's quite cool. The cool thing is I can still keep playing with the material here. Can reduce to make it the yellowish part is bigger, not the blue one. Yeah, that was cool. Okay, now I'm going to actually we are done here in the file simulator. We got the file that we want. Next is compositing. Okay, for compositing, it's what you need is we're going to render layer here, and we change name from render layer to flame. And okay, sorry, make sure you disable the sky here, so it will be rendering alpha. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And yeah, I'm going to save it for now, so just save as, and I'm going to save it to maybe 7. Yeah, so let's go back to candle. Okay, cool. Now I'm also going to give it a name for this, so we just name it candle. So it will be candle. For that we need to go to this part and sampling now, light part. Just make sure no caustic, it's very slow. And performance, note here, film, yeah, transparent here. Okay, so if I give maybe render it, yep, let's try to give a test render for this. Okay, this is the render result. Okay, for compositing purpose, I'm just put samples to 100, so it will be quite fast, but you'll notice here it's quite grainy. For the end result, I'll increase the samples to around 1000, and also use the integrated preset to use only direct light, so it will be changing this using these presets. Okay, for now we can just compose this image directly, so don't forget to save it first. I'm going to go to the compositing layout of here. Now it's in candle, so we need to use node here and maybe a backdrop on the top here. I'm going to reduce this to a little bit 32, and I'm going to use OpenCL and hide preview. Okay, I'm going to, yeah, it's going to be quite. So right now, yep, this is the viewer. Cool. Now we're going to add a fire on from the different render layers. So just go over here and duplicate to make it like that, and I'm going to change the candle to flame. Now it's flame. Right now we can view it, nothing to show. Okay, so I just press this build button here, it will be calculating. It's done actually. It should showing you up. Yep, that's the fire. Cool. Now we can combine this on the using alpha over. So it's like this going to be on top of this value. Cool. So actually, yep, that's better. Going to Alt V to show that. Yeah, the flame is showing well. So, yep. Okay, now to add more dramatic effects on the flame, we can just adjusting the light for this flame. I'm going to use the RGB curves to raise up the flame color to a little bit more shiny and more reddish. Okay, now. Okay, I'm going to convert it. Nope. Okay, just leave it as it is. So right now it will be not showing you very well, so what we're going to do is we're going to add background image, black image in the background. Since we don't have it's something like this, so we're going to use the textures for. Okay, we're going to add textures over here. Okay, since we don't have any texture for background, so we're going to add one. Go to the texture panel over here and go to the board setting, add new, and choose black. I'm going to enable use node, not use checker, but yeah, leave it as it is. So now it's color black. Going back to the compositor, select to black. Okay, I'm going to add this, and it actually will showing you a black. So now we can see the flame pretty well. Okay, cool. Next, okay, that's quite cool. So next I'm going to add yeah, you notice that the light here will be, what do you call, there's something like low. So maybe first I'm going to increase it, use color and hue saturation. Maybe I'm going to increase the value of, yep, it will be very bright there. I'm going to increase the value. So cool. Next, I'm going to add a glow. So what we need to do, actually we need to go back to previous scene. I'm going to save it first. I'm going to go back to default and yeah, disable this. I'm going to go to the layer 2, but don't forget to enable this guys also. Need to move this. Oops. Layer 2, not layer 3. Go to the layer 2 and yep. Okay, it's still there actually. I'm going to add not Shift A and go to circle. F6 to I'm going to reduce to 16 and use N-Gaunt, Relative View. Okay, to use Subdivide, Subsurf. I'm going to scale it down a little bit around there. Yep, so when it's so up in the let's scale it down a little bit. Cool. So I'm going to make it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give this will be below. Add new material here. Let me below to change from diffuse to emission. Yep, 1 is enough. And go to the render layers and add one more render layer here. Okay, and exclude. Make sure you put exclude scene layer from having any influence here. So the scene number 2 doesn't have the candle here. Make sure you select this. So not masking layers, but exclude. It's very important. And also you choose number 2 and just choose number 1. Now cool. Yeah, since we are still in render layers, I'm going to add the extra stuff. It's like a particle effects on the background. It's like a bokeh image. So I'm going to quickly add that. I'm going to Shift A and add a cube. Same like making a domain earlier, but I'm going to scale beds on x-axis, y, and get z. Beds on the 3D cursor. As z, it's going to F6. Yep. Sorry, as z. Cool. Okay. Go back to camera view, and I'm going to add particle in here. So this is going to be a noise. Dust particle. Cool. Now go to particle setting and add new, and let's name it dust. Okay, reduce to 1. Your lifetime is 50 exactly, true, and go to volume over there. I'm going to reduce normal to 0. P6. Okay, we're going to use that, but okay, now disable emitter, something like that, and I'm going to display point. Children known force field, no gravity at all. Oh, now I'm going to I'm going to add icosphere and press F6. I'm going to reduce subdivision to something like that. To add here, maybe not visible in camera. Yep. Select this and go to the object, change to icosphere. Okay, make sure you change this display to render. Okay, so right now let's give it more random size. Okay, now to adjust the particle size here, we're going to use this size a little bit. So we're going to use a randomized size here and choose from this, so it will giving you subtle effect over there. Cool. Now we need to light up this. Okay, so make sure that the camera here is also on the third layer, so we're going to third layer here, and let's select this camera and use median. Shift S, cursor to selected, and go to top view, Shift A, mask, go to right view, rotate this top again, rotate exactly behind the camera, and I'm going to add a material here using emission. Okay, maybe press to 3 or something. Yep, cool. Now let's test rendering this. Maybe we need to give this guy's a little bit place to move. Yep, so it's outside of camera, so going to camera view and we're going to render. Okay, you need to play the animation. Go to 40 frames and make sure you camera to use render. Okay, now the icosphere is being light up. I'm going to reduce the size a little bit. It's a bit bigger. Okay, cool. Yep, get to change the solid again. Okay, now go back to render layers and add more render layer here. So the second is like glow, so the third one will be dust. Make sure you select the third of them and enable only this layer and exclude, and the candle, make sure you exclude this guy. Okay, now we can go back to compositing. Okay, I'm going to add one more add here and changing this to dust. Okay, so I need to use the color mix node to mix this color with. So actually I'm going to press the little render button here, so it will be rendering. Okay, cool, now it's rendering, so we can add this to add lamp. Okay, not cool, so we're going to change this. Okay, now we have a background with the dust over there, so we're just going there. It will be oops, we need to add this, changing with this. Cool. Okay, nice, we have good looking stars on the back. Next we're going to add glow. We're going to duplicate this, change it to candle, and using glow and try to render this. Okay, cool, now we have that small things over there. Okay, I'm going to add a blur node, filter blur, give it a change to fast quotient, check relative maybe around 5. Yep, and I'm going to add this on top of this, so I'm going to use color mix node. Yep, join this. Now we can view in alpha over mode. Okay, not mix but add. Now you see that now we have a glow, something like that, the glows things. Okay, cool. We are Okay, how to give this a little bit nice color variation. I'm going to change this to duplicate this and move this to the bottom part, change it to multiply, remember to add clamp and also add clamp. So by changing this color over here, I'm going to make it a little bit orange, so you notice that it will be changing. Maybe I'm increase this to 6, so it will be more bigger glow, something like that. Okay, cool. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a glare. So go to filter and use glare. Change from streaks to faux glow. Going to change the threshold to 0 and mix to 0.5. It will give you a nice what do you call, something like glowing things. Yep, quite nice. Cool. So yeah, we're almost done. I'm going to give a color balance node. Where's that color balance? Yep, that's, just connect this to this and cool. Now let's give more color variation, just like turning this for there. It'll give you more like it's giving you, it's like a magic. Cool. Now it's like very red, too much red. I'm going to go up a little bit, not too much. Yeah, color balance give you more color in there. Cool. Okay, one more things. I'm going to make this what is called the to give a bokeh blur on the back side. So how to do that? You just give a filter, use bokeh blur, add to this. So now you have this to have a bokeh, something like that. And the cool thing is I can use the input node to create my own bokeh image here. Very cool. Good here. And now we can have how many flaps that you like. So now we can have 5, or we can have more, like 6, more like hexagram or something like that. Maybe 5, maybe 7 or 8. It's cool. You also can have something like a land shift. That's very cool too. I'm going to increase the increase the max blur to 24 and increase the size a little bit bigger to 0.5. It will be taking a little bit longer in rendering actually, but yeah, the result will be very nice. You can see that my computer is suffering from compositing. Yeah, it will be taking more resources than usual. Okay, the final steps to call it finished is I'm going to add a lens distortion to make it more lens distortion. And change dispersion to 0.2. maybe it will be give more something like, it will be taking a lot of, since I'm going to change it back to 16 and change this to 3 or 1 maybe, yeah, just in case. So yeah, so notice like that. So Actually, for my previous shots, I'm increasing the size of the bokeh blur to around 5 or something, so it give you big bokeh to change to 5. But as usual, if the biggest size is will taking you quite a lot of time, so like this, if I increase to 5, it will give a nice result, but a very long compositing. I don't know, bokeh is not using OpenCL as far as I know. So okay, this is our result. Actually, after this, I'm going you can for final rendering, we can change to the high resolution also, and make sure you choose your own output and increase the sampling. For render, I will be using 1000. You can choose your own. For light part, also use direct light. Make sure you check shadows and no caustic. And if you want to play around with the filter glossy, I usually play with the 0.5. It will to reduce some noisy or something like that. Yep. Yeah, I think that's all for today. For this, it will be concludes this tutorial. Okay, now it's working there. It's give you more bigger but not visible through. I will include the finished blend file in this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope you learning something from this tutorial. Your feedback will be appreciated, so thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.